Patchy to dense fog in the area right now. That's going to stay with us through the mid-morning hours and possibly in the late morning. More about that in a moment.
Right now this morning, historic flooding hits Milwaukee with more than a foot of rain. We'll take a look at what residents are waking up to this morning. And President Trump deploying federal law enforcement to Washington, D.C. We'll tell you why. A skincare recall over contamination that could cause life-threatening infections. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Monday, August 11th, right about 6 a.m. Your alarm might be going off right now. We'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. You've got some activity happening on your cameras behind you as well, right?
I know. What's going on in Dubuque, Iowa? What are those things flying around right there? You can see it right there. You also have the fog and low cloud activity. This is the closest I can get you to Prairie du Chien to show you the fog. Look at how that's going on. What are those things? Let us know if you guys know what those are. I thought they were bees for a second, but they look pretty big to be bees. All right, City Cam, you're showing more of that fog out there. Please take it easy as you're going out this early morning. In fact, as Alexander said, if your alarm's buzzing up as you're heading on out as well, you're going to find yourself getting into some more fog. It's going to stick around to the mid to late morning hours, so it's going to be with us for a while. We'll also hold on to Eau Claire that has about 11 miles visibility. They're doing much better up there. However, you can see the fog is already starting to develop in some of the neighborhoods past the buildings you see right there. So they're holding on to low-lying areas that are a little bit more isolated. You have the fog, low cloud activity right now down to the south as well. Dense fog. You go down to Viroqua as well as Soldiers Grove, Boscobel, Richland Center, Sparta, also picking up that. Black River Falls, all in dense fog. They get better by the 6 o'clock hour going into the 7 o'clock hour, but eventually you'll see more of that smoke, I should say fog and haze still lingering. And it gets done by about the 10 o'clock hour. We'll hold on to a little bit of rainfall. That was all the way on the lake, just continuing on for the morning hours, still heading on out. We have more of this on the way coming in for Tuesday, but you can see down by Kansas right now, it's getting pulled up by an area of high pressure, and that's what's putting that cloud cover in our way. We're holding on to 60s as we finish out through the morning hours, going to the early afternoon to the 80s popping in the picture under sunny to partly cloudy skies. A good looking start to the day to get out and walk. As we get into the remainder of your forecast, I'll see more of those 80s in the forecast later on, but we'll show you that when I return, so stick around.
We will see you later. Thank you. Historic flooding hit southeastern Wisconsin over the weekend, with Milwaukee getting more than a foot of rain. News 8 Now, Seth Padilla is in the newsroom with the damage and more rain in the forecast today. Seth.
Yeah, Alexandra, residents are dealing with major damage this morning after record rainfall flooded Milwaukee. Flash floods left cars underwater and washed away roads across the Milwaukee area. Firefighters completed 65 water rescues overnight, with some people needing boat rescues in areas like Wauwatosa. The Wisconsin State Fair was canceled due to the flooding. Milwaukee got nearly 7 inches of rain, with some areas seeing more than a foot.
This flooding event, it's very significant. It's something that Milwaukee hasn't seen in perhaps a decade or more.
Have been dealing with this rain for a long time now and are trying to clear out the flood debris, but it is causing major blockages, leaving many basements flooded. The National Weather Service says more rain is expected today, with flood warnings still in effect. In the newsroom, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now this morning.
All right, lots of cleanup there this morning, Seth. Thank you. President Trump, meanwhile, says he will hold a news conference on crime and cleaning up Washington, D.C. after deploying federal law enforcement throughout the Capitol. Trump is also set to meet with Russian President Putin this week in Alaska. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has the details for us from New York.
Soon, President Trump is expected to address his decision to deploy more federal law enforcement throughout Washington, D.C. On social media, the president claimed crime numbers are getting worse, and he demanded, quote, the homeless have to move out immediately, adding, we want our capital back. The city's mayor pushed back on some of the president's assertions on MSNBC Sunday.
We are not experiencing a spike in crime. In fact, we're watching our crime numbers go down.
Meanwhile, in the push for a Russia-Ukraine peace deal,
I'll be meeting very shortly with President Putin.
President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin are preparing to hold a summit in Alaska on Friday. CBS News has learned that Putin requested the meeting between the two, though President Trump is still open to possibly including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
America
Over the weekend, Zelensky said the path to peace must be determined together with Ukraine. That message was backed by multiple leaders in Europe. Vice President J.D. Vance traveled to the United Kingdom over the weekend for talks with Ukrainian and other European officials.
Ukraine will have to be and will be involved. But on Friday, it is important to see how serious Putin is. And the only one who can do that is President Trump.
The president has suggested that a land swap might be part of a potential peace deal, though Zelensky has pushed back, declaring Ukrainians will not gift their land to the occupier.
The president's special envoy for Russia and Ukraine was in the UK with the vice president over the weekend. He is expected to go to Ukraine to meet with top officials this week. And closer to home, crowds watched sheep shearing take center stage at Irish Fest yesterday. Attendees got to see an age-old tradition that many never witness, but most benefit from. The practice is deeply rooted in Irish history and culture.
People don't tend to have a chance to see on-farm experiences, and so something like sheep shearing that happens on individual farms that is pretty much just the farmer that is raising the sheep and the people around them that get to see that experience.
Sunday was the final day of this year's Irish Fest celebrations. The La Crosse Public Library's second-floor computer lab will be closed through Wednesday. The Main Street location is preparing for upcoming technology and space upgrades. Library staff will still help people with personal devices and printing services. A summer program in West Salem is making it easier for people of all abilities to get out on the water. The Star Center and North American Squirrel Association run free adaptive kayaking classes throughout the summer, welcoming participants of all abilities.
There's nothing like watching a kid or a family come in and they're all happy. Maybe they're splashing each other, and it's just so much fun to see them doing it.
Organizers say the goal is to make recreation inclusive and to have everyone enjoy a day on the water. The Fish Days Parade made a splash yesterday in Lansing, Iowa. Fish Days features live music, a fish fry from local chefs, a fireworks show, a hay bale toss, and a kid-friendly zone.
Well, getting some candy, watching my son on the fire truck, my husband on the fire truck, he's the fire chief, and then going to Fish Days.
The family-friendly event is an almost 100-year-old tradition. Your last chance this summer for La Crosse City Pools is happening this weekend already. Erickson Pool, Northside Community Pool, and Veterans Memorial will all close for the season on Sunday, August 17th. You've got one more week. They'll offer free admission on Sunday to celebrate the end of the season. The Beaver Creek Butterfly House hosts Wisconsin native butterflies and helps with their conservation. The house allows for safe interactions between butterflies and humans, as we see in today's eyepiece.
Butterflies are so amazing. I have to say, this is just one of the coolest jobs that I've ever had in my entire life, just because you get to work with butterflies, and not a lot of people get to say that.
I love when visitors see the egg for the first time and they're like, oh wow, that's so tiny. Like, they don't expect a not big, but a larger butterfly to come from something so tiny.
We typically raise about, depending on the year, we could raise about between 150 caterpillars to 300. You can see a butterfly either come out of its chrysalis or a caterpillar go into its chrysalis. And it's just one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And it's a very quick process, but it's just so cool to see.
There's so many people who've never seen a butterfly up close before. There are people who've never touched a butterfly before. There are people who have never even seen the types of butterflies that we have in the house. Everyone typically knows what the monarch is, but they don't know that we have different species of swallowtail butterflies. They don't know that those white butterflies that they see flying around their garden are native butterflies to Wisconsin.
Once you see them up close, you're going to have a special thing that just makes you so excited about wanting to protect them.
The time now is 6:07. Still ahead on your morning news. Kia is under investigation for how it handles car recalls. U.S. chip makers cutting a surprise deal with the government, and Pepsi making a splash with 3 all-new flavors. And an old-fashioned loaf making a modern comeback. How sourdough is becoming the hottest bread on the market. And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. A meteorite that crashed into a Georgia home this summer is older than Earth itself. The rock tore through the sky back on June 26th with a sonic boom before hitting a house in McDonough. Geologists say the meteorite is more than 4.5 billion years old. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the first city in the United States to play a Beatles song on the radio. That is Seattle, Washington. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
If you have aging or cracked sewer lines that need to be replaced, choose Maxwell White. We make sewer replacements a stress-free process and make sure your lines are good to go for many years to come. For a limited time only, we're offering financing with 0% interest for 48 months. So call today.
We see you out there making the most of every moment.
Happy birthday, buddy.
One big, bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like select tires, rewards members can buy 3, get 1 free, and get an extra $20 instant savings. 15% off select brakes, steering, and suspension parts. And save $50 on these Real Truck roll-up truck bed covers. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
We hear it all the time. A company gives a homeowner a quote for replacement windows. When the homeowner hesitates, they drop the price by almost 50% if they sign today. Makes you wonder why they didn't offer that price to begin with.
They called us for a second opinion. Our price, over $5,000 less, without the sales games and for better windows.
At Clear Choice, we believe in honest pricing, no pressure, and quality you can trust.
Don't get pressured into a bad deal. Call us today.
Choose Clear Choice or something less.
I'm a martial artist, a skydiver, a pilot, and all of them require your feet to work. Get up in the morning and it felt like I was standing on marbles on my heel. When I went into the Good Feet store, the fitting was personalized. It was all about me. You put in the arch supports and your day becomes better and the sun shines, the unicorns run by, and you know, it's a good life. I'm Randy and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
It's the summer sales event. Great time to buy. Nice weekend, Hank?
Spectacular. Took the family camping, courtesy of Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 48 years. Morgan?
Baseball tournament. My Explorers at the Homeland Field.
How about you two?
Mud bath.
Get 0 down, 0% financing plus 0 payments for 90 days on Bronco. Or lease Bronco for $4.99 a month with 0 down. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Stubborn clog that just won't give? With our drain cleaning services, we can remove those stubborn blockages without jeopardizing the integrity of your pipes. For a limited time, we're offering financing options with no interest if paid in full within 18 months. So call today.
Well, good morning to you. We've got the fog and low cloud activity working down through most of areas along I-90 going southward and eastward as well. This will continue through the better part of the morning hours and eventually getting into some late morning hours, clearing skies eventually. We'll hold on to temperatures in the 60s right now, pretty much widespread all the way to 70 degrees by Boscobel. Areas by Richland Center as well, getting into those upper 60s with 64 of Viroqua, Sparta, 68 degrees. It parted ways with La Crosse now it's 66 degrees for La Crosse. 63 in Winona. Once you get to Eau Claire, about 62 degrees. Black River Falls at 63 degrees. What we're holding on to today, we have, again, temperatures getting up to the possibly the middle 80s, I believe. We'll get up to about 85 degrees today, where Eau Claire get up to those low 80s, around 83 degrees, all under at least partly cloudy skies for both locations. Highs for Monday, once again, 85 degrees here. Trempealeau holding on to 83. Eau Claire about 84. Other areas down to the south still holding on to some of that heat as well to the east. Once you get into Sparta, Black River Falls getting those low 80s. Smoke and haze kind of gets out of the region as we go all the way up to the north. It'll cross around Ladysmith and eventually brushes as we go in the morning hours for Tuesday in the early morning hours from midnight all the way to about 11 a.m. and it's out of the region. Highest wind gusts, you can see they're going to be fairly light to finish out as we go through the morning hours. The winds will shift on us as well coming out of the west as we go through the late afternoon hours and into the evening with a little bit of smoke and haze as I showed you before, but you've got a little bit of winds coming coming in briefly, but they're not going to affect us as we go through Tuesday. We'll see winds up to 16 miles per hour, and that's about it. Holding on to Trempealeau all the way down to La Crosse, you're going for the low to middle 80s. We'll even touch 83 for Eau Claire as we go into tomorrow, holding on to 84 degrees for Lansing. Once we get through the day, you're going to be seeing again through the morning hours a little chance of shower activity, possibly for Eau Claire as well as we go into it as well, getting into about a 20% chance. That's a look at your forecast. More about that just in a moment.
In your morning consumer news, Kia is under investigation for how it handled a major recall. Earlier this year, Kia recalled more than 137,000 Seltos and Soul SUVs. The company offered a fix, but dozens of owners complained it didn't work. Now the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is auditing Kia's response. Two microchip giants have cut a surprise deal with the Trump administration. NVIDIA and Advanced Micro Devices will pay the federal government 15% of their revenues from chip sales to China. In exchange, they get export licenses to sell their chips in China. That is a reversal from the Trump administration, which had imposed tough restrictions on chip sales to Beijing. Pepsi is rolling out some exclusive drinks just for movie theaters. The brand is taking its popular Drips by Pepsi drinks to Regal movie theaters across the country. The beverages are a mix-up of typical PepsiCo flavors with add-ons like boba, cold foam, and floating cotton candy. The global sourdough market is projected to reach $5.3 billion by 2030, up from $3.3 billion just last year. Artisan bakers are helping drive that growth, sparking a modern-day renaissance of this age-old staple. CBS's Ite Hodge shows us how the classic loaf still has plenty of rise left.
If you're one of the millions who think bread no longer has a place at the table, you may want to clear a spot. Because inside this unassuming bakery in San Francisco, something's happening that might just have you believe in carbs again.
This is not your Wonder Bread. No, this is not your Wonder Bread.
Jamie Sams runs the kitchen at Jane the Bakery, where on busy mornings they can crank out up to 600 loaves, each one requiring about 5 days from start to finish.
It's a really simple idea of just utilizing what's already in nature.
Owner Amanda Michael says they wanted to go back to how bread was made thousands of years ago.
We're using the whole kernel of grain, so the germ, the endosperm, nothing's stripped out of it.
Not only do they mill their grain on site, it's grown on their family farm, taking every loaf from seed to slice. And customers like Sharon Garrison say it's the best thing since, well, you know.
There's no word to describe it.
Karen Bornarth from the Bread Bakers Guild of America says shoppers are pickier now, and while that's pushed bakeries to step up their game, artisanal bread takes work, and that costs more.
Keeping it accessible for people, keeping it affordable so that the market can grow is the real challenge.
In the end, it all comes down to one question. Does it rise to the occasion? Which is why, in the name of journalism, we had to try a few loaves.
Oh, wow.
Okay, maybe more than just a few.
What's the most important ingredient? Love. No, I'm just kidding.
And that passion for sourdough may just prove that the notion people are done with bread is toast.
Let's look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to Art now. He's got an update on our forecast.
Sourdough bread. All right, we get into it, holding on to some rainfall that's trying to get closer to us, and the upper moisture is really starting to get into our region as well. We're holding on to high pressure to our east, and that's what's really guiding this right back into us, just circulating that right back into our area. And in fact, we go into it today and then tomorrow. This is what's going to happen for Tuesday. We've got the possibility of afternoon and evening showers. It'll go from the north all the way down to the south, and by the time we get from the late morning hours all the way into the late afternoon, into the early evening hours, it gets all the way down to areas down to the south by Prairie du Chien. What's going to happen for us as we go into it? Highs for today, some 70s, 80s in the forecast. We'll get up to the middle 80s. You'll see rainfall that we picked up earlier this morning. It's kind of tracking out still with a little bit of storm possibilities going to it right now through the 5 o'clock hour and 6 o'clock hour. We'll see clearing skies as well for us, but all the way up to at least partly cloudy skies eventually, and then more clouds start to come up from the south. They start to mostly cloudy conditions to partly cloudy conditions to at least mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy cloudy conditions to finish out the day, holding on to more cloud activity, realigning back up to the north as I showed you from coming in from Kansas as well. You'll see that moisture really start to build up by the midnight hour. Storm activity possibly sweeping over Ladysmith to start around 5 a.m. Then it begins to drop down by 8 o'clock in the morning with showers returning to Eau Claire. That continues to drop down a little bit more to the south. However, it's more like a little shower, maybe a sprinkle, and then it continues by Black River Falls and really ignites again as we get into the afternoon hours. Holding on to the warming of the day gives us a chance for showers for La Crosse all the way to Sparta, picking up again more so as we get in the 2 o'clock hour. That goes all the way from Decorah all the way back over to areas by Wisconsin Dells. Then we're seeing more storm activity starting to develop over the lake by Green Bay. And that continues to drop in more moisture to continue on for the 5 o'clock hour. You notice everybody else is in drier skies up to the north and then eventually down to the south. That kicks out all the way down to Dubuque, Iowa, and that's gone. We get into clearing skies to finish pretty much all the way to Tuesday night to finish that out. Highs for Tuesday, we're looking at upper 70s to the middle 80s, so a degree or two difference as we go into tomorrow, as well as rainfall and fog coming back again for us. We're looking at the rainfall for today. It's kind of meager, but once it picks up overnight and into tomorrow, you're seeing maybe about a half an inch or less in the forecast. We'll go into Wednesday. This should be one of a really nice looking day, a very nice day, low 80s in the forecast, so more comfortable, and it'll feel maybe a degree or two similar to what the temperature's rolling on to. We also pick up maybe a little more rainfall for Thursday going into possibly Friday night and Saturday and Sunday where rainfall begins to really ignite. Here's Friday. You can see at a 6 a.m. hour picking up some storm activity. Then we roll into Friday night picking up more storm activity carrying over into Saturday. Eventually that continues on. That's a look at your forecast coming into your next few days. Those is what I'm looking at for you with increasing rainfall going all the way into Sunday as well and into Monday. Back to you.
All right, Art, thank you. Still ahead for us, an FDA official is back on the job this morning, weeks after resigning amid White House pressure. We'll have those details after the morning Sports Blitz.
Coming up in sports, not one, but two walk-off finishes, including a big one in Milwaukee, where the Brewers put together an amazing comeback. See those highlights coming up in the Morning Blitz.
A big part of my job is building relationships with people, and being the team you can trust means being here for you.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
Experience the thrill of gaming at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin. Whether you're a slots enthusiast or prefer the excitement of table games, we've got you covered. Enjoy delicious dining options, live entertainment, and exclusive promotions that add even more memories and adventure to your visit at any one of our 6 locations. And coming soon to Beloit. More of our amazing gaming options, amenities, and outstanding service you can count on. Find your fun today at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Elevate your room with new flooring from Shaw. Inspired Journey Carpet is luxurious and soft to the touch. It's just $149 per square foot after rebate. For over 135 years, Hunter has set the standard in ceiling fan quality, performance, and style. Check out our great selection in-store or on Menards.com. Get this large room Allendale ceiling fan for $119.96 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben will fight to get you a fair settlement.
When I woke up in the hospital, I knew that my next decisions were critical. And I knew right away that I wanted to use Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben.
They were thorough, compassionate, and just really made us feel at ease right away.
I highly recommend Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben to anybody that needs honest representation. They have been with us every step of the way.
Call or visit Schwabel.com today for a free consultation.
If you have to ask why it's important to start your day early, here's your answer.
For $5, get a sausage McMuffin with egg and an any size soft drink or coffee.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We're a team you can trust and we're local. We see our members out in the public all the time. Want to be able to look them in the eye and know that we did right by them.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Going into Sunday, the Brewers had won 8 games in a row for the 3rd different time this season, and despite the flooding around the Milwaukee area, the fans still managed to pack American Family Field as the Brewers were going for a sweep over the New York Mets. So let's go there. Quinn Priester taking the mound right in a 10-game winning streak as a starting pitcher. Not on his A game yesterday, already with 2 runs across, and then in the second, Brett Beatty is going to score another. This one a deep shot to left field. It's 3-0 Mets. Now 5-0 in the fourth, but here come the Brewers. William Contreras, first pitch swinging. He's going to give this one a ride over the wall in left field. Milwaukee gets on the board. Later in the inning, bases loaded, 2 outs for Joey Ortiz. He's going to single past the shortstop. 1 run scores. Jansen around in third. He's in safely. Milwaukee down 2. Mets would get one back, but then in the 5th, it's Contreras again, going opposite field and over the wall. His second homer of the game. This one a 2-run shot. Milwaukee within 1. All right, let's go to the 8th. 2 on for Ortiz, and this time goes down the first base line, past the glove of Pete Alonso. Terranground's third. He's in to score. This game's all tied at 6. So let's go to the 9th. Edwin Diaz on the mound, but enter Isaac Collins. Sends this pitch to deep right field, and it's gone. A walk-off homer. Milwaukee was down 5, but they come all the way back for their 9th straight win. 7-6, the final. Let's go over to the American League. The Twins were going for a series win over the Royals, down 1 in the 3rd. But how about Ryan Fitzgerald? 8 seasons, nearly 3,000 minor league plate appearances. And yesterday he would get his first MLB hit, and it's a home run. We're tied at 1. Later, Twins leading in the 7th, but Vinny Pasquantino gonna get a hold of this pitch, deep to right. Kansas City takes a 3-2 lead. 8th inning, Twins answer. Man on third, and Ryan Jeffers singles into left. This game's going to extra innings. And in the 11th, it's the rookie, Luke Kershaw. His second career home run, and this one is a walk-off winner. Twins take it 5-3, the final. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
If you have aging or cracked sewer lines that need to be replaced, choose Maxwell White. We make sewer replacements a stress-free process and make sure your lines are good to go for many years to come. For a limited time only, we're offering financing with 0% interest for 48 months. So call today.
We can play the role of the main focal point why somebody's coming into lacrosse. They're going to go check out the restaurants, the bars, the other things, the other events that might be going around in town. And we all complement each other so well as a community. It makes it so special to be a part of this region.
As we're bringing in additional income, it allows us to give out additional raises, and the quality of life is going to expand and go right with that as well.
The Power of Tourism, brought to you by Explore Lacrosse.
Summer style starts here. Refresh your space for less at the King Furniture Hot Summer Sale. Save up to 50% on an entire room of beautiful new furniture. Living rooms, bedrooms, dining, you name it. Find mattress closeout deals on overstocked inventory and special factory closeout Lazy Boy recliners at prices too good to sit out. Plus, when you trade in your old furniture, get a discount on new. We'll even deliver and haul away for free. It's the King Furniture Hot Summer Sale going on now.
It's that time of year again. Oktoberfest is back with 4 days of fun. Each day is jam-packed with activities to get your Gemütlichkeit on. Join us for the parades, games, tapping of the golden keg, craft beer, and more. Free admission on Sunday with fun for families and all ages. September 25th through the 28th, we're celebrating German heritage in the most premier festival around. Don't miss Das Beste Fest in the Midwest. Get tickets at OktoberfestUSA.com.
We know, like, if we help one person and if we impact their life and have such a positive influence on them when they're coming in here working on sometimes the hardest thing for themselves that they can do, and they can then help the next 3 to 5 people that they encounter, our reach goes more.
Are we looking to enjoy time with our family? Are we looking to get up and down off the floor with our grandkids? Are we looking to go travel and experience retirement a little bit differently? We're in your corner through the ups and the downs that life has to offer because we know that they'll happen.
Head over to unityfitnesspro.com today.
Soar into a new career at Eagle Crest Communities.
What keeps me at Eagle Crest are the people that I work with. I enjoy my team so much. I look forward to seeing them every day. I enjoy our monthly meetings, getting to see the other managers from the other facilities and collaborate. I motivate my team by bringing us back to why we're here, going through our residents, getting to know them. You feel like you're really part of a big mission to help our residents have a full and healthy life.
Learn more at eaglecrestlife.org.
Stubborn clog that just won't give? With our drain cleaning services, we can remove those stubborn blockages without jeopardizing the integrity of your pipes. For a limited time, we're offering financing options with no interest if paid in full within 18 months. So call today.
Call Hupy and Abraham. They really do mean business.
Back to the dense fog in the forecast right now, as well as a little light rainfall out of our region. More about that coming up in just a moment.
Now this morning, historic flooding hits Milwaukee with more than a foot of rain. We'll have a look at the damage. And President Trump set to deploy federal law enforcement to Washington, D.C. We'll tell you why. Winona Health bringing health care right to local schools. How the school-based clinics help busy families ahead on Mindful Monday. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Monday, August 11th. Ready for another week? Well, whether you're ready or not, it's here. Sending it over now to meteorologist Art Jarrett. Also here with us this morning, another unwanted visitor is the fog, right?
The fog is here. It's going to be back tomorrow as well. A little smoke and haze over in the upper atmosphere getting up to Ladysmith later on today. And what we'll find out as we roll into it here, you can see a little bit of, again, alert quality issues there for them as we get into it. Rainfall is off to our east right now, and that's tracking slowly but surely out of the region. As we get into it, though, slowly but surely we'll see that fog and low cloud activity getting right into it here. All right, so we get into how this all shapes up. Going right back into Dubuque, you can see they have some fog. This is the closest I can get you to Prairie du Chien, so I want to show you where some of the fog is down to the south. Then we go right back into areas by CityCam. You can see the fog across the region here, especially for the city of La Crosse. That is some dense fog right now, and it is really, really sticking around going through the mid-morning hours. While Eau Claire, on the other hand, has 11 miles of visibility, so they're looking much better. A little bit of fog out there and some light breezes kind of moving through the area right now as well. This will continue all the way through the morning hours, especially down to the south where dense fog is holding on to by Prairie du Chien and 1 mile of visibility, as well as Boscobel, Viroqua, all the way to Sparta, and of course Black River Falls has gotten much better, but you can still see the fog down to the south. La Crosse has about 5 miles of visibility by the 7 o'clock hour, and eventually they're better as we go into the 9 o'clock hour, and then we're pretty much done. The rainfall, as I showed you, is tracking out of the region, but it is along the lake, stronger by areas by Green Bay. We have a little bit of upper level moisture coming our way, and as you can see as we go through the day, 60s and 70s in the forecast. We go through the morning and into your early afternoon. Let's look at your forecast. Back to you.
All right, Art, some historic flooding hit southeastern Wisconsin this weekend, with Milwaukee getting more than a foot of rain. News 8 Now, Seth Padilla is in the newsroom with the damage and more rain in the forecast. Seth.
Yeah, Alexandra, residents are dealing with major damage this morning after record rainfall flooded Milwaukee. Flash floods left cars underwater and washed away roads across the Milwaukee area. Firefighters completed 65 water rescues overnight, with some people needing boat rescues in areas like Wauwatosa. The Wisconsin State Fair was canceled Sunday due to the flooding. Milwaukee got nearly 7 inches of rain, with some areas seeing more than a foot.
This flooding event, it's very significant. It's something that Milwaukee hasn't seen in perhaps a decade or more.
Residents have been dealing with issues like that flooding in regards to clearing up the debris, which is leading to many basements being blocked by the blockages. The National Weather Service says more rain is expected today, with flood warnings still in effect. In the newsroom, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now This Morning.
All right, lots of cleanup there this morning, Seth. Thank you for that update, and some national headlines to get to. President Trump says he will hold a news conference on crime and cleaning up Washington, D.C. after deploying federal law enforcement throughout the Capitol. The president had threatened a federal takeover after an ex-DOJ staffer was allegedly assaulted last week. Trump is also set to meet with Russia's president. CBS's Bradley Blackburn reports.
Soon, President Trump is expected to address his decision to deploy more federal law enforcement throughout Washington, D.C. On social media, the president claimed crime numbers are getting worse, and he demanded, quote, the homeless have to move out immediately, adding, we want our capital back. The city's mayor pushed back on some of the president's assertions on MSNBC Sunday.
We are not experiencing a spike in crime. In fact, we're watching our crime numbers go down.
Meanwhile, in the push for a Russia-Ukraine peace deal,
I'll be meeting very shortly with President Putin.
President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin are preparing to hold a summit in Alaska on Friday. CBS News has learned that Putin requested the meeting between the two, though President Trump is still open to possibly including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
American
Over the weekend, Zelensky said the path to peace must be determined together with Ukraine. That message was backed by multiple leaders in Europe. Vice President J.D. Vance traveled to the United Kingdom over the weekend for talks with Ukrainian and other European officials.
Ukraine will have to be and will be involved. But on Friday, it is important to see how serious Putin is. And the only one who can do that is President Trump.
The president has suggested that a land swap might be part of a potential peace deal, though Zelensky has pushed back, declaring Ukrainians will not gift their land to the occupier.
The president's special envoy for Russia and Ukraine was in the UK with Vice President Vance over the weekend. He's expected to go to Ukraine to meet with top officials there this week. Your last chance this summer for La Crosse City Pools is this weekend. Erickson Pool, Northside Community Pool, and Veterans Memorial will all close on Sunday, August 17th already. They'll offer free admission on Sunday to help you celebrate the end of the season. The Beaver Creek Butterfly House hosts Wisconsin native butterflies and helps with their conservation. The house allows for safe interactions between butterflies and humans, as we see in today's eyepiece.
Butterflies are so amazing. I have to say, this is just one of the coolest jobs that I've ever had in my entire life, just because you get to work with butterflies, and not a lot of people get to say that.
I love when visitors see the egg for the first time and they're like, oh wow, that's so tiny. Like they don't expect a, not big, but a larger butterfly to come from something so tiny.
We typically raise about, depending on the year, we could raise about between 150 caterpillars to 300. You can see a butterfly either come out of its chrysalis or a caterpillar go into its chrysalis. And it's just one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And it's a very quick process, but it's just so cool to see.
There's so many people who've never seen a butterfly up close before. There are people who've never touched a butterfly before. There are people who have never even seen the types of butterflies that we have in the house. Everyone typically knows what the monarch is, but they don't know that we have different species of swallowtail butterflies. They don't know that those white butterflies that they see flying around their garden are native butterflies to Wisconsin.
Once you see them up close, you're going to have a special thing that just makes you so excited about wanting to protect them.
In our medical news, an FDA official is back on the job weeks after resigning. Dr. Vinay Prasad has resumed leadership of the agency's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research. He was appointed in May but resigned last month, saying he didn't want to be a distraction. A source says his departure came amid pressure from the White House and right-wing activist Laura Loomer. And skincare company Dermarite is recalling products due to microbial contamination. The recall includes the products Dermaclean, Dermasara, Clean Foam, and Paragene. Healthy people with minor wounds may get local infections from the contaminated products, but immunocompromised people could develop life-threatening sepsis if the infection spreads to the bloodstream. Friendly's Ice Cream is issuing a recall after a labeling mistake. More than 300 tubs of cookies and cream ice cream were packaged in vanilla bean containers. The mismatch could expose people with soy and wheat allergies to unlisted ingredients, possibly causing severe reactions. The affected cartons were distributed in Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania with no illnesses reported. As students head back to school, pediatricians are getting the word out about protecting children from vaccine-preventable diseases. New data shows yet another drop in childhood vaccination rates. Bradley Blackburn reports.
Again,
Brianna Dean is starting her junior year of high school, but first the 16-year-old has her annual checkup.
we want to keep her safe and keep her healthy. You're going to feel a little pinch, okay?
There are 2 shots on her back-to-school checklist. Both protect against meningitis, vaccines for ACYW and B strains.
And then our meningitis B vaccine will need a second dose 6 to 12 months later.
CDC data shows childhood vaccination rates have fallen again in the U.S., and exemptions for vaccines are setting another record. 92.5% of kindergartners got the measles, mumps, rubella shot, down again from the previous year. Pre-pandemic, that was 95%, the level necessary to maintain herd immunity. The U.S. is seeing its highest number of measles cases in more than 30 years, with more than 1,300 nationwide.
Vaccines have been studied for years and years and years. We want parents to understand that they're safe, that they're effective, And, at the bottom line is just really to prevent disease.
In an updated policy statement, the American Academy of Pediatrics reiterates support of requirements that children be immunized to attend childcare and school. Pediatrician Dr. Andrea Jakinovich with Optum Pediatrics encourages parents to talk with their doctor if they have concerns about vaccines.
Our job is to educate, sort of combat some of the misinformation that's spread out there on social media, just to make sure they understand what's medically relevant, irrelevant, and to know the facts.
Dr. Jakinovich is excellent in keeping us informed.
This mom says she's grateful to be able to help keep her daughter healthy for the upcoming school year and the future.
Now we'll send it back over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got an update on our morning commute.
Okay, as we get into it, fog and low cloud activity still working in the forecast area. And also, I'm going to send you right back over to areas right by CityCam. You're going to see the fog and low cloud activity still holding on there, and it's going to be here through the mid-morning hours possibly. And some locations are actually going to be seeing this all the way into the late morning hours down by Boscoville and Prairie du Chien. You can see that all the way down through the 5 o'clock hour as well. Going to the 6 o'clock hour, that's what we had, and continuing on right now. Current temperatures in the 60s currently, all the way up to the north, so widespread 60s for your forecast. Boscoville's leading the pack at 69. You're also holding on to conditions to be like this today. Partly cloudy skies for La Crosse. Then we get to mostly cloudy skies by the 8 o'clock hour. That's at night. And then eventually you're going to see partly cloudy skies resuming. We'll hold on to Eau Claire. You've got partly cloudy skies after a morning of sunshine. Well, once you get into it for the afternoon, you're going to see some upper level clouds coming in. I should say at least some mostly clear skies to finish the day. And then the possibility storm activity coming in as we go into the overnight hours. We'll hold on to highs for Monday. We're looking at, again, widespread low to middle 80s in the forecast, 77 in Medford, though. That's the cool spot. 85 for La Crosse, 83 or so for Eau Claire. Highs for Tuesday, picking up clouds to increase. We'll be getting into at least partly to mostly cloudy skies. Then eventually you're seeing temperatures maybe a degree or so cooler. We'll hold on to the forecast as we get into it. You can see with sunshine coming in, even though it's a 20 to 30% chance, you're still holding on to better looking forecasts as we finish out with a chance of showers in your forecast.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Gary's turning 80. He served in the Navy and loves spending time with his 5 children and 11 grandchildren.
Happy birthday, Gary. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Still to come, school starts soon. Is your child ready health-wise? The back-to-school checklist every parent needs coming up on Mindful Monday.
US Cellular makes it easy to switch. Get $1,000 off any phone with no trade-in.
We don't even have to trade in our teeth?
Nope.
I almost lost this one.
Get $1,000 off any phone with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, built for us.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Hey Nick, want your usual?
Yeah, please.
How's your day going?
Oh, pretty good. Air conditioning went out at the house, and I got some guys coming over to fix it.
Nothing that G&T can't take your mind off of, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. I can always depend on GNC to put my mind at ease.
Especially when I make them, eh?
Well, I'm talking about GNC heating and air conditioning. They have never let me down.
Call GNT.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Maybe I should switch to GNT.
The search for savings stops here at Black River Furniture Outlet, Wisconsin's best price furniture store. Stop in and check out our Poly outdoor furniture, relaxing swivel gliders, loves, and dining sets, available to customize. Inside, shop a huge lineup of Ashley, Catnapper, and Best Home Upholstery. Reclining or stationary sofas, loves, or sectionals available. Set the table or make the bed with sets from Ashley Furniture, and find the perfect rug to tie your home together. Family and veteran owned, Black River Furniture Outlet, Black River Falls.
The history of Pleasing is a history of taste. After World War II, my grandfather, Frank Italiano, spent time in China and acquired a gourmet taste which became his passion. He developed a seasoning and shared it with his friends. In 1952, Pleasing was created. That first seasoning has grown to 40 different blends. This history of taste continues with both the second and the third generations as we explore people's changing tastes. Stop by the Pleasing Outlet store on Ward Avenue and taste the history.
When you need a truck to get you from the job site to the campsite, drive your story with a new Ram from Pischke Motors.
Get your Ram now during the Make This the Summer sales event. Stop into Pischke Motors to save 10% off MSRP on a 2025 Ram 1500, plus get 3.9% financing for 72 months. Ram trucks are built to serve power. So get in a Ram today. Hurry in because this offer ends August 31st. Go to Pischke.com, Pischke Motors West Salem, or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
Right now, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in.
Are we having the wool pulled over our eyes here?
Nope. And you get the latest phones.
High five.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
All right, as we get into it, your local weather here, we'll go right into the 12:30 hour for tonight. That's when rainfall starts to move back in the forecast. You're going to see it up by Ladysmith and then really tracking in maybe a shower to maybe even a slight storm trying to get up to the region there. And eventually you'll see more shower activity to finish out the morning hours by 8 o'clock. We'll hold on to that getting back to Eau Claire by that time in the morning. And eventually it starts to drag down. You can see the frontal boundary right there and then continuing all the way out to the river. We'll eventually see it try to get towards La Crosse around the noon hour. You see it by Black River Falls. Then it drops down to La Crosse. You get into the noon hour there to finish out around 12:30 or so. Then it really begins to pick up. More showers start to build up as the temperatures start to warm in the afternoon. You'll see that showers really start to pick up even more so by the 2 o'clock hour, and then by the 3 o'clock hour, once we're getting closer to the warming hours, you're seeing, again, more showers picking up, possibilities of storms picking up once they start to leave the region. Then eventually you see that continue all the way down to the south as we finish out the early afternoon and get into, I should say, the late afternoon, getting to your evening commute. You notice everybody up to the north is clearing skies there, partly cloudy skies possibly to finish out the day, but everybody else down to the south has storm activity to shower activity. We'll see clearing skies to finish out for the remainder of the day. Tuesday's holding on to temperatures from 77 to about, say, 84 degrees, 83 for Eau Claire, so a degree cooler for tomorrow. Then we get into the rainfall. You can see it up to the north starting there, and it drives all the way down to the south, maybe about a half an inch or less expected in the forecast. Wednesday's highs pop in the picture. As I've mentioned before, you're seeing 76 to about 82 degrees, so we cool it off a couple of more degrees from what we're going to experience for today. Then eventually you'll see Eau Claire about 80 degrees, so we'll hold on to that with a really nice day at hand. It should be a really nice day to get out and about. We'll hold on to the rainfall over the next 7 days. You see it for Tuesday, then possibly for Thursday as a slight chance, and then possibly again for Friday night going into Saturday, and then continuing on all the way from Saturday into Monday. We'll see that rainfall possibly pop in the picture with maybe a shower or storm activity going through the morning hours. By the evening hours, it bumps back up to the north again by Ladysmith and then Rhinelander, drops down on us again as we go in this 6 a.m. hour for Saturday. Then Saturday holds on to storm activity that stays up to the north by Rhinelander and Ladysmith, kicks out of the region, and then eventually back to Saturday evening by Eau Claire, back to Rice Lake, and then back down with storm activity still working into it, turning into showers to finish out for the 4 a.m. going into Sunday, for showers popping out of the region again for Sunday, and then we try to see if a storm comes up, but it looks like it may be just staying with showers. We'll go all the way into temperatures expected for the low to middle 80s, and then drop it down to the low 80s by Wednesday, but still quite comfortable. By Thursday and Friday, temperatures start to bump back up from the mid 80s to the upper 80s. Carry that over into Saturday with storm activity on the way as a 30% chance, 40% chance on Sunday to a 20% chance on Monday, with storm activity still continuing on with temperatures dropping back down to the low 80s. That's a look at your forecast.
Back to school season is here, and it's not just about new shoes and school supplies. It's also about making sure your child is healthy and protected before stepping into that crowded classroom. We're joined on this Mindful Monday by Madeline Speltz, a registered pediatrics nurse, to break down what checkups and vaccines your child needs to stay safe. Good morning. Thank you for being here with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, an important discussion for sure. So what are the key vaccines that most school-age kids need before they head back to the classroom? We know it differs by age, but what are some of the basic ones?
Yeah, so beginning at age 4, for. Most future kindergartners need their boosters for measles, mumps, rubella, as well as varicella. And then they also need their diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis, and polio boosters, which are conveniently combined into 2 vaccines, as long as they are up to date on all their other vaccines. And then at age 9, we recommend receiving their first dose of the HPV vaccine. At 11, they're usually due for another tetanus booster, as well as their first meningitis vaccines. And then at 16, they have additional meningitis vaccines they'll be needing.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Okay, good to know
so
there.
A lot of families fell behind during the COVID era. So what do families have to do now to keep their kids vaccinated and, of course, keep the information rolling as well?
Yeah, so we recommend establishing with a pediatric provider or a provider in a family medicine clinic. And this is a time for them to get caught up on any well child visits, sport physicals if they need those, get caught up on those immunizations. But then it's also a really good time to ask any questions that they may have, concerns, things like that for both parent and child.
Okay, and we know that, sometimes when you do fall behind, maybe you're embarrassed, but it's okay to be behind, right? Just speak to your provider and you guys will help us get caught up if that's the case.
Absolutely. We definitely encourage reaching out to your provider to see if you are due for a well child. Sometimes in the busyness of the summer or the school schedule, parents might forget, I haven't been there for a while, or I just went with one child and maybe the other child hasn't gone. So we always recommend reaching out to your provider, seeing if you're needing a well child, a sports physical, or if you're behind on any vaccines.
Okay, good to know, and get caught up there. And then anything parents need to bring with us to our child's appointment, like vaccination cards or things like that, what do we need to bring with us?
If you're not an established with our facility, we definitely recommend bringing that immunization record, bringing with any previous documentation from other facilities that you may have gone, but rest assured, if you don't have any of that, we're usually able to get those records for you. We also recommend if you need any other medication forms filled out, such as if your child needs to take medications at school, we can definitely assist with filling those out at these appointments as well.
Okay, great to know.
Right on. So what should we know about Winona Health school-based health clinics?
Yeah, so Winona Health, in partnership with Winona Area Public Schools, has established 4 different school-based clinics in the Winona Area Public Schools district. We have clinics at the middle school, the high school, Jefferson Elementary, and the ALC. And through this partnership, we're able to provide at-school care, which is very convenient for families. They don't have to pick up their child to go to the clinic. They can just have an appointment right there at school. We can see kids for anything from well child exams to sport physicals, update their immunizations. We also see children for mental health concerns, STI testing, sexual needs, things like that. We're also really happy to have expanded counseling services into 3 of these schools, so students can see a counselor right there at school. All, of course, with parental consent for all of these appointments.
Okay, good. So everything from sports physicals down to mental health, you're really covering the whole gamut there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, awesome. Anything else parents need to know? Any other checkups or anything that should be on our list as we do head back to school?
Yeah, for students entering 5th grade and 6th grade, a lot of times parents they don't realize that sport physicals catch up to them. This is a time when we start those sport physical exams. Though it sounds just like a well child exam, they are different exams, but these are always offered at well child exams, so we definitely recommend not forgetting about those. We don't want your child to miss out on any of those first practices or a new sport that they want to try out. And then we also always recommend yearly dental exams and eye exams with those outside providers.
Okay, great. All right, Madeline, well, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Thank you.
No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
We know if we help one person and if we impact their life and have such a positive influence on them when they're coming in here working on sometimes the hardest thing for themselves that they can do, and they can then help the next 3 to 5 people that they encounter, our reach goes more.
Are we looking to enjoy time with our family? Are we looking to get up and down off the floor with our grandkids? Are we looking to go travel and experience retirement a little bit differently? We're in your corner through the ups and the downs that life has to offer because we know that they'll happen.
Head over to unityfitnesspro.com today.
We're really excited about our new hearing aids that came out. They're called Vitality. They have artificial intelligence, and people have really been hearing better in background noise with them. They're also a lot more clear.
And you can also control it with your phone. So if you want to get more technical, you can make your own adjustments on your phone.
It's just set and forget. They will adapt on their own, or you do have the ability to customize it more for your personal preferences and environments as well.
So stop by the Better Hearing Center and find out more about the new Vitality.
We know how hard your family can be in your home. Relax. We're more than just a flooring store. We're your partners that can create a home. Last a lifetime. Our flooring from Sealants is perfect for muddy feet
and waterborne fights.
Sealants Carpeland in Coon Valley. Let us help you find the perfect flooring because our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Do you wish your home had a fireplace? Enjoy the benefits with a design to fit your style from La Crosse Fireplace Company. Choose from a Heat and Glow gas fireplace with the authentic flame, glow, and ambiance of a traditional fire, or a Heat and Glow linear fireplace with a variety of heat management solutions. Also options to hang a TV or artwork above. You can have a full fireplace in your home in just a few days. Contact La Crosse Fireplace Company today because your place is by the fire.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
The forecast is always changing.
It's very important to keep it updated and looking towards the future.
I do like 2 in the morning and 2 in the late morning. It's fun because I feel like I'm talking to someone out there and relating myself, the weather, and what they need to know.
There's a lot more information on there available, and it's constantly updated, and we're one of the few around here that really updates that constantly with new information.
Online weather updates from First Warn Weather, streaming on News 8000, the app, and 8+. Expect more.
Welcome back at 6:54. Time for your morning news now. Crowds watched sheep shearing take center stage at Irish Fest yesterday. Attendees got to see an age-old tradition that many never witnessed, but most benefit from. The practice is deeply rooted in Irish history and culture.
People don't tend to have a chance to see on-farm experiences, and so something like sheep shearing that happens on individual farms that is pretty much just the farmer that is raising the sheep and the people around them that get to see that experience.
Sunday was the final day of this year's Irish Fest celebrations. The La Crosse Public Library's second-floor computer lab will be closed through Wednesday. The Main Street location is preparing for upcoming technology and space upgrades. Library staff will still be able to help you with personal devices and printing services.
It's all about the fog this early morning, going from Eau Claire all the way down to Prairie du Chien. We're also going to see some of that get up to areas by Winona as well and Red Wing. Oh, by Eau Claire, though, it's looking pretty good for you so far. You're looking at some sunnier skies. In fact, you'll get into partly cloudy skies to finish the better part of the day, with most folks doing the same down to the south as well. 85 degrees expected today, with temperatures rolling into about a degree or two cooler. Showers coming in from the late morning hours into the early afternoon into the late day, all the way down to the south. North to south of the forecast area with a few showers here and there. Storm activity picks up east of our area. A better day for Wednesday, looking pretty good despite the cooler air. We'll also see again more storms coming in possibly Friday going into the weekend.
All right, Art, thank you, and thank you for waking up with us. Ahead at noon, President Trump set to hold a news conference today on crime and cleaning up Washington, D.C. After deploying federal law enforcement throughout the Capitol, we'll have the latest on his announcement when we see you back here at noon.